this seminar is bettered by one of my books published in 2019. I'll read it from here, The Ballot Box. Let me just begin by reading an opening statement from it. And it says, in a democracy under which we are now practicing voting per se without rigging, and under a free and fair election, may not, at the end of it, cure all the ills and malice of the oppressed, the marginalized in society. Also, it may not guarantee the effective or surety good governance or other various factors that will come into play, except if the moral character, the intellectual capacity, the experience, the preparedness for people who are casting the vote are very necessary. What is trying to say? Majority of uninformed voters who produces the leadership of any people will produce men without character. What he's saying is that voting without knowledge, voting without understanding, voting without not having a good criteria to analyze what to vote, who to vote for, why you are voting for the person. That the million of people voting for that person is voting for people they don't even know. So at the end of it, it may not guarantee and cure the malice in the society. What he's trying to say is this: an ignorant voter will produce a corrupt leader, but a majority of wise voters will produce men of integrity. Praise the Lord. And it goes further to say, the ballot box is not merely an instrument of registering conviction. These convictions may not be exercised under a free, morally perfect environment, objectively or rationally. The ballot box is an instrument. It may either be an instrument for good or a defective instrument. The value and efficacy of each vote depend on whether the voter is informed, whether you are enlightened, whether you are dependable, and whether you are trustable. Their political convictions and moral character determines the quality of the leadership of elected men and women. We're not trying to build a framework upon which when we vote, we do what? We vote rightly. The ballot box, in this context, could be regarded as an imprint of a moral index. When voters are immoral, with perverted conscience, they may be induced and bought over by cheap campaign of calumny, may be bought over with money or material things, motivated and selfishly motivated in choosing whom to vote for. Consequently, any government ushered in by such a majority of such people will be an expression of the composite characteristics of the citizenry that voted it in. When voters' character are dented with racial prejudice, bigotry, ignorance, selfishness, lack of essential political enlightenment and information, then they enthrone a government that is weak, government that is selfish, corrupt, unguided, and oppressive.